up in this position or this position. We're going to turn. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Hands like this, bend to the side. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is mirror image. So I'm bending this way, so you should be bending this way, and go to the other side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Next, hands up, shoulder height, reach down, stretch. 1, 2, 3. To your right, 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Center, inhale, exhale. Hands up, reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right, 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Center, inhale, palms up, exhale, palms down. Okay, again, hands up, reach down, just relax, release the tension in the back of the legs and the lower back, to the right and to the left. Center, inhale, exhale. Okay, hands on your waist, circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center, cross, knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and stop. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Hands on your waist, neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center. Tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Center. Down, circular movements. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, and 3. Center, hands up. Pull. Pull in, inhale, exhale. Hands up, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, spread your feet. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, we're going to turn. Okay, fingers can be crossed on your knee. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, next we're going to switch, straighten out the front knee. Keep your back as straight as possible and fold down. Gradually release and relax. Exhale. Switch. 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 Okay, toward the center. Deep breathing, hands up, inhale, exhale, hands forward, fold the elbows, and down. Inhale, exhale. Okay, one more time, hands up, fold, elbow out, up on your toes, exhale. Okay, hands on your waist, elbows, heels together. Okay, pivot. This is your square triangle stance, or 90 degrees here. Then we're going to go to square shoulder width position. Okay, we'll try that again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay, let's pull the heels together. Let's pivot like this, and we're going to turn open the hips. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, let's spread the feet out again from the shoulder width. Okay, kick it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when we pivot like this, you're not just working one leg, you're actually integrating a motion that requires both sides to be reacting. So when we do the step back in repulse the monkey or any movement that goes backwards, your leg should be working with controlling the supporting leg as well as the light side or the empty leg. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands in your waist. Shoulder roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Okay, now press, release, exhale, inhale. Breathe through your nose, tongue touching the roof of your mouth. And stop. Hands up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, now we're going to do a wrist movement, circular movements like this. Work your knees and your elbows. So we're building integration as well as patterns. Okay, reverse. Okay, palms down, bigger circle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, one more. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, we're going to work balance. Shift the weight. Bring your foot next to the other foot. Find that position. Okay, back to shoulder width. Shift your weight. move the foot next to it, supporting yourself. Okay, back to center. Now we're going to lift. This hand's going up. This is going down. And we're going to bring the knee up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, switch and hold. Switch and hold. Okay, shake it out. Okay, now we're going to do a few leg swings. Okay, starting with the arms. We're going to get the right leg in as the left hand goes out. And then it switches. Switches. Okay, let's do a few more. Let it swing. Get the rhythm. So there's not a whole lot of kicking force. It's just letting your leg swing with the momentum of the motion. And that applies to the hip as well as the shoulder joint. And center. Okay, switch. Start with your hands. Get them going. Let your arms swing. Aim toward the center and then let it go. As I mentioned in the other classes, if you need a little support, have a chair next to you, or anything that's stable that will keep you balanced. Okay, let's go to the next position. We're going to go like this, and the legs are going to cross over. And this is actually parallel to the mirror. And switch. Go out to the side, swing. And center. Shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, next we're going to do silk rolling. So I'm going to do it toward the mirror. So the hands end up like this. Then we sit back. 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of times I do this facing and it's mirror image. So use the mirror if you want to track the hands, but you can follow this way. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And down. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just build that as a sequence of events. You're going up and down. So when you're back, both hands are here. When you're forward, the hands are like this. So it's working, a number of transitions, a number of positions that you pass through. So it could be diagonal flying, pot the horse's mane, upper hand to Jade Lady work shuttle. It's all of those as part of the transition. So the pot the horse's mane would be this, but then we end up doing this. So you can see, a lot of the movements have some common body positioning or geometry. Switch. Let's go to this position and this position. And we sit back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then just work it continually a few more times. It's called silk reeling. So building continuity of movement. And pause. Okay, next, I'm going to cross the forearms. Okay, you notice this hand is on the outside, the left hand, my forward foot open and close. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, switch. Open. So this is on the outside, right hand on the outside. Open, close. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, next, shake it out. Feet parallel, shoulder width. Preparation. Hands up. Drop the elbows and down. Elbows and knees. This is the starting movement, preparation. It's the opening movement. And center. Okay, now lower hoop, rounding out, waist level. Okay, tongue is against the roof of your mouth. Breathe through your nose. Clear your thoughts. Okay, shoulder height. Elbows down. Okay, lower. Palms down along the side of your leg. Lift the spine, lift the back. Okay, chin down slightly. Extend. Okay, fingertips pointing and thrusting down. Little bit of tension. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, we're going to go through diagonal flying. So we're here, and we go forward, and back, and forward. Okay, so this is diagonal flying. Look at the lower hand. Separate the hands. Okay, switch. So here's your starting position, then they turn like this, and then they slip by like this. So that's your diagonal flying. Okay. Just recall the names. These are all postures, so you see that it's slanting diagonally. Okay, next, palms down, vertical elbow, cloud hands. Okay, now we're going to shift. Now we're just keeping the feet straight, just to get the feeling of moving from side to side. Now we're going to go backwards. Go the other direction. Okay, let's go back again. So just go about shoulder width. Okay, down, check it out. Next, we're going to go back to shoulder width to this position, carry tiger to the mountain. Upper hoop, palms out, cross, lower. Upper hoop, okay. Cross, lower. So you see the final positions are already predefined and measured from lower to middle, okay? Now we're going to go about this high, so slightly lower than shoulder, okay? Now we're going to go out. Infinity sign. So one of the things that you should be aware of, that the petals are not too big. They just kind of merge here. You get out to about this corner, about where 45 is, and you're out. So your hands are here. Don't make it so big, and don't reach out like that. Just keep it within the plane that's directly in front of you. Okay. Next, we're going to form the fist and punch. Okay, next, find the center line, fold the elbows, strum the lute. Okay, a couple of names this is called is strum the lute, elbows down, neutral position, okay, triangle position, center line. Okay, so you have one right side and a left side. When the hand slides down to about where the elbow is, it starts to come back around. Okay, so this is your strum the lute position, in front of the nose, alongside the elbow. Switch. So when the hand comes up and you slide like this, that just defines the two halves of that circle. But once you have your movements programmed in, then the hands will switch like this. So you build that circular relationship between one replacing the other. Then we go thumbs up, palms together, alternate the shoulders. So a lot of these movements are just working your joints, but once we get into transitional movements where the right and left sides have to work together, when they work together, then what you have to do is, I'm going to move over to this side. I think from the back side you can see better, okay? Now when you see the elbows working, you're just building that relationship. But when you're building transitions like this, the hands are actually somehow integrated with your legs. So that relationship is built over time. So we started from here, thumbs up, and we flipped, okay? So you build the vertical and horizontal elbow position, okay? Horizontal is this position. Vertical is this, or this. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now I'm going to bring the hands way up, shoulder height, and I'm going to turn, draw the bow. Turn and draw the bow. Okay, let's open the stance, cross the arms, so this is on top, on this side it's on top, so this one's going up and then out. 1, lift, 2. So all you're doing is 2 circles like this, but you control the movement so you have one going way out to the side, and this one is stopping about the forehead. Because if you were to grasp, connect with the hand, it would be here. So this is just spreading the hands. But you align and separate and turn the shoulders by turning at the lower back, the small of your back turns. Okay, back to shoulder width. Now I'm going to lift the hand, go straight up the center. Okay, raise the hand. So this is where you have to relax the shoulder. Anytime you lift your hand above your head, you need to focus on relaxing the shoulder and not let the shoulder lift. Keep it down. Keep your shoulders. So the shoulder joint itself will go up, but keep this area down. Okay, work it slowly and lift and stretch. Okay, we go way up, sort of increasing the range of motion, so when we're here in stork flaps wings, it's much more relaxed. Okay, it's not 100% relaxed because these muscles actually are involved in getting your arm up in this position. So in Tai Chi, the whole premise is not to use strength, but not using strength is kind of a misnomer. You're not using strength. What you're using is the correct amount of strength. And the correct amount of strength varies with your body's understanding. Your body doesn't really know how much until you go through the motions long enough and often enough that it will start to delete any erroneous tension or any excessiveness that are built inside the movement. So that applies to any kind of movement that we're doing. We want to move until our body picks up what we would say is the naturalness of the motion, and then you utilize your joints the way they're designed to move. So your joints are designed to move specifically a certain way, but if you move the wrong way, then there's a conflict in that movement, and that conflict in that movement can be from tension, misalignment, imbalance. All of those things come into play. So you have to work through the movements. That's why work through it softly and gently as possible, so you start to use the correct muscles rather than forcing the movement because you think that's what you see. So sometimes how you perceive the movement to be when you're first learning it isn't exactly what the body is doing. So that's a kind of a learning curve that you have to go through, and eventually your body will start to understand, what you're trying to do. Okay, deep breathing again. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So, earlier we did a bit of footwork, stepping to the side with the cloud hands. So that's, what happens when you shift your weight and you move to the side. In the Wu Style cloud hands, we actually pivot and shift and step. It's a little bit more complicated. But the thing is, all our pivoting, and we're going to go through some of this now, is this. We find our pivoting off the ball of the foot. We've done this many, many times in class, and I just want to sort of recap that. And then we pivot, and we turn, and we go forward and back, and we pivot. So these are pivotal, transitional type motions that take you in a direction. Okay, so we rely on our feet to steer us in a direction. So that's what footwork is. Okay, now if we turn in this direction and do grasp the sparrow's tail left side, then we're going to work a posture. So we have the right and left side with a 180-degree turn. Right side grasp the sparrow's tail. Right. Hook your wrist. So the hook wrist is setting up for the single whip, which is this hand position. But when we turn, here's that swapping of hands. So this is grasp the sparrow's tail is made up of 4 movements. Okay, and we switch over to the other side. So it's vertical to horizontal, roll back or divert, and then you push. Okay, so that's made up of 4 movements. So it's vertical, that's like a strum the lute position, horizontal, so your hand is here, a press, palms down, and inside hand up. So this is the push. Okay, so this is single whip. Actually, elbows out in the 45, we turn, and we're here. Horizontal, it shows up in the beginning as a right side grasp the sparrow's tail, hook wrist, then we go to this, and this would be single whip. Okay, if we turn over to here, grasp the sparrow's tail left side, hook from here. So that's the opening to single whip left and right sides. So those are 2 postures linked together to create that action. So you have the right side, grasp the sparrow's tail with the right side single whip. We have the left side, grasp the sparrow's tail with single whip. Okay, now if we just switch hands like this, okay, we have the alternating effect. If we go like this, that's hold the ball. Okay, hook wrist, palm side in to hold the ball. So what happens typically after hold the ball? Part the horse's mane or diagonal flying. So in this instance, we're going to do the diagonal flying. And we shift, okay? Are you familiar with this position? Okay, so that's when we start the form off and we're here, we're in this position and we go into single whip. So that's just to give you an idea that there's a common position here. If you did the Yang style, this actually looks like their stork flaps wings, but the thing is, we're here. Now we're going to step up. There's your swap, horizontal, step up, raise the hand, bend from the waist, stork flaps wings, and relax. So what we did was just the first section of the Tai Chi Paradigm form, and you can see that there's a series of postures pulled together to create that sequence. So it's the first section. If you go to the website, calvinchin.com, there's a black banner on top. It's a PDF. That PDF, if you download it, it's going to be the names of the postures in the form. And if you kind of look at that and identify and relate to some of the names I'm using, grasp the sparrow's tail, single whip, diagonal flying, step up, raise the hand, step up, stork flaps wings. So those are all some of the postures. So then, once you get through that series that's in the first section, we're in this position, we're in the left side stance, we do brush knee. Okay, so think of this horizontal elbow going in this direction. So it's your right side elbow, your left hand here. The left hand is going to go down, brush the knee, brushing the front knee. Brush and push, and sit back. Okay? Turn, brush the knee, and push. Okay? Brush and push. Now on the left side, if we preset this movement and set it up and step through, we have our left elbow up. So we turn to the left, drop the elbow, brush down and push. So this is brush knee, right and left side. Okay. Okay, now if I go like this, vertical on the same side, and I went like this, that's setting up and holding that position, and you step up like this. And you flip, and you brush knee and push. So that's brush knee and push with a forward step, moving from one step to another. I'm going to do that 3 times so you can see that if you're on the right side, there's 1. Now, if I want to go to the left side, I set up my hands as a vertical to horizontal, and I step through. I turn, flip, brush, and push. Now, if I do that again on the right side, I preset the position, I step through, I'm back to the right side, I flip, brush, and push. And then I'm back to center. If I were to go back to the left side, I would just go through the same sequence of events. I turn, flip, and push. So that's brush, knee, and push with the forward step through. Okay, now, if I went, say, from this side, okay, from here, I went the vertical and horizontal, and I turn, I'm on the opposite stance. So this is another way to practice brush, knee, and push with the 180-degree turn. Okay, so when you go like this and you turn, brush, knee, and push, vertical to horizontal, turn, brush, knee, and push, vertical to horizontal, turn, brush, knee, and push. Now, if I went to vertical and horizontal, if I wanted to step through, I would just turn, brush, knee, and push. You see what happens? If I turn this way, I would go the opposite way, so I'd go from here to here. I would turn, now I'm here, brush, knee, and push. And back to center. I go forward and back. I turn, brush, knee, and push. So, those are a couple of postures, and the thing is, when you're first learning Tai Chi, it's very confusing as to what the hands do. So, those are 2 drills that you could use for developing your brush knee movement and grasp the sparrow's tail. So, everything that we do, requires some practice in a more condensed version of it before actually exploring and going into this long sequence that you'll only get confused trying to memorize the whole thing. So, work with the postures. Grasp the sparrow's tail, single whip, diagonal flying, step up, raise the hand, the stork flaps wings. Those are the postures that are in the form, and they're pretty common. So if I were to step up like this and raise the hand, and I bend from the waist, there's stork flaps wings. Okay. Now if I raise this hand up like we do in this, but stop here, if I bend, this is stork flaps wings. So stork flaps wings is really this position that takes you to this position. So this is your setup. You bend and you circle, bring this hand down, bend, and you circle around. So there's your left and right stork flaps wings. Okay, shake it out. Now, because we're bending, you might have a little tension here, a little tension here. But look at when we bend and then you start to move, you're not only just bending, but you're transitioning through a position to get to here. So that means, when you're in a stretch, which is like a static stretch, that's kind of one-dimensional stretching. When you're in motion, which I think is even better than just stretching, you're stretching and moving so you have a balance in how your musculature is creating that motion. So that's better in a sense because you develop not just the relaxation of and inhibiting the stretch reflex, but you're inhibiting the reflex by creating a motion that is generated by what happens up here to direct the movement. It's more developing a motor skill, and then the motor skill itself becomes part of this circular movement when you're transitioning. So you're building proprioception and spatial awareness and body posturing, more precisely knowing your space. So knowing your space becomes this awareness that you develop of knowing where you are relative to where you're going. So that's what happens when you work with the postures in your form. Okay, so, that was just giving you a sort of a condensed version of some of those postures. But, we do this. This is cloud hands. Okay, and in fact, people confuse it sometimes by doing this. And it's not like as if you don't have that motion, but look at this. This is cloud hands. Okay, if we reverse the hands, you actually will start to begin to develop the brush knee movement. You see, so you begin to understand that circles either clockwise or counterclockwise. So circles, depending on which way you're going and which way you're going, is just a reversing of that movement. And, our body only can go in those directions because our joints and our limbs are designed to go a specific way. But you have to, what I call the manipulation of skeletal structure, to kind of accommodate and create the illusion that you're making all these different, amazing patterns. But it's really just simple circles combined together with a certain integration of the body that makes it look, sort of aesthetically pleasing or, very coordinated. So that's really building this program up in the brain that actually will direct all your movements and program your musculature to move the way you're teaching it, and at the same time building body intelligence. So that's what you can take out of this conversation about why Tai Chi, is so beneficial. So now we're going to go through the whole form. That was for newer people to kind of track those few basics. Now we're going to go through the form, okay? So it starts off in preparation. And as you follow these videos, you're going to see how common everything that we do in our exercises and fundamentals as it relates to our form. Single whip. Hold the ball. Raise the hand. Stork flaps wings. Brush knee 4 times. Divert, block, and punch. Leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Fist under elbow. Repulse the monkey. So with repulse the monkey, take your time if you know the whole form. So you control the back step. We don't have eyes in the back of the head, so we have to use really proprioception, referencing, and how our body has learned the alignment of these positions so that you will have that proprioceptive sensory part of it, that it really is your sixth sense. So you know where backward is, but do you know it's over here or here when you step? You have to step so that when you sit back, your stance is going to be in the correct position. I'm going to do one more. So yeah, legs are here. And then once you're in this position, your stance should be pretty much the way you've been practicing it going forward. Now, if you're going forward and you're not bringing it out enough, you won't be in the correct position. You feel a little bit imbalanced. Then you step forward. Divert, block, and punch. Cross the arms. Leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Bring it down. Turn. Lift up. Cross hands. So your left hand's on the outside now. These are all the back side movements. Here's your stork flaps wings. That leads to left side grasp the sparrow's tail. Single whip. Hold the ball. Reverse the ball. Diagonal flying. Sit back. Stroke down. Pot the horse's mane. Step up, stroke down, part the horse's mane. Cross corner, Jade Lady work shuttle. Cross corner, Jade Lady work shuttle. Hook your wrists, turn back to the front. Single whip. Cloud hands, we're moving, but pivoting as well. So all the pivoting drills that we do, I'm going to do a couple more just so you can see. We usually only do 4 sets of hand movements, and then we close. Okay, deep breathing. So, everything we went over is sort of it's a training strategy, and how you can adapt the movements over time to create the form and to build deeper understanding of why certain movements go a certain way, or certain parts of your body have to move a certain way to integrate, and also to build that relationship. The whole premise of Tai Chi is like in yin and yang, the balance. Balance your musculature, balance your skeletal structure, balance your breath and movement, balance anything and everything that requires equal opposite or complementary actions. So this is something that's very important as you develop your form, but there's some amazing strategies in getting our body to work a certain way. But the whole premise of everything is really, aside from the balance, is to create good circulation in the body and create more of a relaxed phase in your movements. Because what's really important for fall prevention and agility of footwork and mobility has to do with how we treat the lower half of our body. When we have tension in our legs, and we have tension in our body, it's very hard to respond, when something sudden happens, because our body is already in a tension mode. And, part of that tension is in the muscles. Some of that tension is mindset. Some of it is, the stress that you feel when you feel like you potentially can fall. But what happens when you build your body intelligence is that you build much more confidence in where your body is and how you can handle, things where you have to react. So what declines as we age is our reaction, our reflex action. So, while we're, working on these strategies to build that form, that's the practice. Because if you could do it right away, you actually wouldn't get anything out of it. So it's this building process, letting your body evolve and start to get your body more in tune with what it's actually learning. And then eventually things will start to make sense and kick in. In the beginning, it is a pretty steep learning curve because you're trying to memorize names, you're trying to identify positions, and along with that, identifying those positions, where's the coordination come from? Coordination is learned and built over time. And because the body hasn't experienced this, you have to go through this process. And as you go through the process, your body starts to pick up on it like anything else that we do. That's how we learn, whether it's through visuals, through assimilation, through audio information or communication. Then through that process, you start to pull it all together and develop an understanding. Okay, so I think we're going to move to the 108 movement form. When should you do this? If you've learned the Tai Chi Paradigm form and you have it memorized, you can probably start looking at the 108 movement form. Not that you're going to shift gears and stop doing the paradigm. The paradigm form is your fundamental to the long form. It has all those, many of the postures, but it has all those concepts built into it. So you should try to refine the movements in the Tai Chi Paradigm form so that when you're doing the long form, it becomes part of that as a natural course of progression. What you're learning in the 108 movements is additional transitions, additional postures, increasing the length of the form, because when you do the whole form, then the meditative aspect of it and all the other intricacies that are built inside the form become, not a part of your evolution. And you can evolve with the long form, forever, because it has so much built inside that form that, you would never stop discovering, what it offers. Okay, so going to the 108 movement form, we're going to do a little bit of stretching that we, try to do typically for the downward posture or the kicks. So like I said, we have to get our knees in a position like this. So that's, if you go like this and you sit here, you can actually stretch your ankles, to loosen up the ankles, because the most important thing with the ankles is you're able to settle into your stance. If your ankles don't release and your hips don't release, then your legs are going to have tension. So these three joints need to work together. So this applies actually to everyone doing Tai Chi, but the thing is, if you're doing 108 movement form and you have the downward posture, you need to do a bit of stretching. So, with stretching, if you want to use that as a crutch, you can do it like that to help you support, and then you just switch around. So anyone that's having a little trouble with their stretching, I suggest doing one leg at a time, because if you try to do a split, both sides are tense and you're going to end up hurting yourself. Okay, now squatting down like this, if you rock from side to side or want to put your elbow against your knee so you can spread your hips open so that your feet are almost straight, that helps you open up your hips. Okay, so when you're like this, you can go from side to side, and that gets you used to moving your hips. And then if you bring this foot out, now you're stretching it in here more, but use this to support and balance you a little bit. You're not using this as, the total support because you're relying on this leg. You're just using it a bit for balance so you don't tip over. So you can build that gradually, and then you can slide this foot out. And I'm on the ball of my foot just to get your knees used to doing this squatted position. But you notice, before I move, I have to get my joint stable here. It's very difficult to come into this position and start to move your foot out because you're not actually weighted here and you haven't stabilized this joint so that you can do this. Now once that joint is stable, then as you open it up, you can actually start to bring this heel down. But when you bring this heel down, unless you have very flexible ankles, you're going to feel like you're falling backwards. So this is a position you'll have to find. Okay, so finding that position is just kind of playing around with it while you're building that flexibility. Now, once you have your position and you do the downward posture, then you do it like this. So this knee actually doesn't have to go all the way down now, because now you're only folding to here. So you fold in the direction, and then you can actually turn it like this. So that's where the inner part of the hip really becomes pretty important. So that's just a sampling of what you can do to help build some of that flexibility before you do the total downward posture. Okay, the last few classes we've been working on these kicks. Fold, open, lift the knee, kick, and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, let's do the heel kick, and then we're back to here, and let's do the fourth movement, which is beat the tiger. So I'm doing everything toward the mirror so you can see that this is the heel kick on the right and 2 punches to the ear. And then we're going to bring the hand on top and we flip it over and we do the parting leg. Now if we cross and turn while we flip the hands, we end up here and we do another parting leg. Okay, so that's essentially all the kicks facing this mirror. So here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fold. 1, 2. And then we're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, elbow up, kick. Let's put this hand down, fold, do a heel kick with the left. This is the left kick, and then we're going to get to this position. Okay, now let's do this with high pat to horse. Now these are just the kicks because when we turn, we actually have the brush knee and the planting punch. This is just so that you can see the transition to beat the tiger. and 2 punches to the ear. Put the left hand on top. Flip the hands over. Fold the elbows. Lift the knee. Spread it out. Bring it down. Pivot and flip the hands. Fold. Elbows up. Stroke down. And back fist. Okay. Now when we get near the end, we have the two other kicks, which is single lotus and double lotus. But that's, remember we talked about working this movement. So we only have it on this side, so that's the only side we have to be concerned with at this time. Okay, so the hand is here. You're going to do this. So I shift the weight, and I do that so that you have a little momentum to swing the leg around. So that's the single, because it's one hand. Double is this. So double is this. So that's, you could do that a few times, work with it, build some flexibility. Don't force it. If you have trouble hitting the hand, just at least just do this. You can actually do it like this too. So what you're developing is the equal opposite action, because you have to be balanced. So when you're doing this, that actually is similar to that action. So you're building that kind of in your motion already. It's just that your body isn't responding because the waist and the lower half and the upper half it isn't coordinated enough. So that plus flexibility, it doesn't take a whole lot of strength. It really takes a little bit of momentum, so that the momentum comes from letting your legs swing and then let it go. So it's basically timing the motion so that your hand will go to the instep of your foot. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so let's go from here. Lift. Lift. Poke. Lift. Okay. So instead of going to down posture, I'm just going to go lift up like this, and I bring my hands up. Bring my hands up. Thrust. Kick and thrust, and then pull it. So this actually is called the golden cockroach stance on one leg. We do it like this when we do the warm-ups. This is the one we have in the Wu Style form. So golden cockroach is a pretty common position. What it stands for is standing on one leg. It's like a rooster standing on one leg. So we stand on one leg. Lots of styles have it. When we're in the mantis form, we go like that. That's golden cockroach stands on one leg as well. So lots of different styles have that same stance. All it is a single-legged stance. Whether it's like this, like in the Yang style, or the Wu style is like this. Okay? So both sides are the same. So you'll learn to lift. So that's the cross hand, and you're like this. Okay, cross hand, and you lift, and then turn away like that. Okay, so once you're in this position, this one, and you step down, this is like snake sticks out tongue, but it's like this. Okay, so the hands do this. Now once the hand does this, and you kick, those two go together. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then once you do this, you have to shift your weight over and then pull up. And then you go back to neutral, and repulse the monkey happens. So here, ready, golden cock roll, step down, poke, and lift. And then reverse. Okay. So there's a couple of little drills that you can do to build that motion and the position. So your leg has to be like this, in this position. So if you want to build some flexibility there, you'd have to do the elbow on the knees or this. So it's kind of like hacky sack. You have to do that. So that's the action in the lower part of your body. Okay, deep breathing again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, we'll go through the form. Let's start from, let's go through from the beginning, all right? Preparation. So this is just like the Tai Chi Paradigm until we get the leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Oops. And there's your instep kick, right and left sides. Here's your heel kick with the 180-degree turn. And here's your brush knee, left and right sides, or right and left sides. And then we have planting punch. So these are a continuation form. Now here's parry and punch again, and here's that fourth movement that leads us to beat the tiger. Okay. Here's beat the tiger. Here's your right heel kick. So the sequence is a little bit different from facing the front, using the mirror. Here's your parting leg with the 360 pedal step. Drop your elbow, fold the elbow, lift the elbow. There's your parting leg, and parry and punch again. Repeating the sequence. So this is just a big repeat. Second set of obliques. Actually, end up back to the front as we reverse the ball, diagonal flying. Part the horse's mane 5 times. Then the 4 corners. So back to single whip. Now we have our second set of cloud hands. Then we have the downward posture, snake sticks out tongue. Invert the hand, pull down. Step up, go to the cross hand position. Here's your Jade Lady. Poke and kick. And then repulse the monkey. So this whole series repeats again. Carry tiger to the mountain. That's just this version of it. That's a footwork, not really a kick. And we step up to raise the hand. bend from the waist, stork flaps wings, brush knee one time. Insert the needle. Fan through the back, second time, turn. Parry and punch. Step forward. Form the fist and punch. Next. And punch. Next, step up. Grasp the sparrow's tail again. To single whip. Third set of cloud hands. Then once we complete third set, we go into palm strikes face. So these two sections are going to be closing movements and the end of this phase. Brush knee, left side push. Punch down to crotch. Step up and grasp the sparrow's tail again. Then we have single whip again to the second downward posture. Snake sticks out tongue. Invert the hand, pull down. Step up, cross hands, 7-star. Retreat. Hook, ride the tiger, palm strikes face. Change the hands, double lotus, draw bow to shoot tiger, palm strikes face. This is a repeat to parry and punch. Palm strikes face, high pat the horse, grasp the sparrow's tail. Single whip. So I'm going to shift over here a little bit. Hold the ball. Reverse the ball. Diagonal flying. Close the form. And done. Okay, good. Deep breathing. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So, when you continue to evolve accuracy of movement, integration of body, and, smoothness of the form, as you try to build sort of the seamless approach to the execution of the form. So it does take some time to practice and learn how the body should go through this. But ultimately, you will get to that stage, and as you begin to evolve, you probably understand that all they are individual postures linked together. And anyone that's kind of watching the form, because they've started the Tai Chi Paradigm or finished it, you can see that you start to recognize. You say, oh, I know that. I've seen that before. So it starts to click and you start to recognize the sequence. And even when you learn the long form, sequentially you won't even be able to identify exactly what's happening as you finish the different cloud hands. And there's so many, say, single whips in the form that you could get confused from one to the next depending on, how embedded this sequence has been ingrained in your long-term memory and also in your body. But people that's teaching this can go into any piece of the form and actually carry it on. So anyways, on that note, we're going to end the class. I got a 15-minute, set up before we go into the children's Kung Fu class, children's and adults intermediate, actually. So I'll see you then. And Thursday is the next time we're going to do live streaming.